here.
What's up, everybody? It's your favorite nerd who you wouldn't like when they were angry's favorite nerd. And today we are looking at the Figma Hulk from the Avengers. It's their more movie accurate sort of thing. There's a long story to this. We're going to have story time at the end. But I went with this over the Figwarts. And you guys know I've been doing the Figwarts movie style figures from Marvel. But I just like this one, the way this one looked a bit better than the Figwarts. But I will do a quick size comparison just to show you how it'll scale with my collection. There's the Figwarts Black Panther that doesn't want to stand at the moment, which is operator error, I assure you. And yeah, I think that's fine. No big deal. I think that works just fine. Accessory-wise, he comes with a Figma stand. It swivels at the base, and then it has a hinge at the base, a hinge in the middle, a hinge at the top, and then this bit here that plugs into the back of him that also swivels. So it's pretty nice. And then two fist hands that have the same sort of stylings as the figure, which we're getting ready to talk about. So let's not waste much more time. I love the head sculpt. I think it's so on the money. I think they did a fantastic job with it. All the green has this subtle shading throughout. It's this darker green on top of it. It gets in all the nooks and crannies, so to speak. Really makes the musculature pop. I think they did a tremendous job. I really do. It's a well-painted figure, and it's pretty much top to bottom. I don't think the pants have any paint, but it still looks good. The head is on typical Figma joint, so you got a ball joint, I don't know if you can see that or not, that goes into the base of the head, and then it comes down to a hinge, and then to a peg, which inserts into here. And does this move? Yes. So it's like another hinge. So that's how they work it, and it's as a result you get a ton of articulation up to there. If they would have given you a little bit more room in the back of the head, you could have got more down to there. The swivel and a little side to side, not much. But as a result, I mean, I think that's a decent range for a bulky figure. The paint on the face, let's see if we can't get in there, a taste. Let's raise her up. The teeth are painted extremely well, all the gums and stuff are painted, the eyes are painted, and then the hair and the eyebrows. Now the eyebrows aren't sculpted, and that's kind of a bummer. So it's just paint on top of the face, which looks like, you know, you've seen that chick. You've seen that chick out there that did something terrible to her eyebrows, and now she's got to draw them on. And that's kind of what he has going on, but, you know, not the worst thing in the world. For the sculpt, I mean, like, all of the muscles are sculpted. They look great. And then little veins and stuff. He's very vascular. Old Banner. For the waist, it feels like a single ball peg down in there, but it does give you a ton. We're going to talk about that. That's the second time that's happened to me. But it allows to show some articulation, so it'll all be worth it. But you get all the way down to there, you know, and then you get like a little bit back, a good bit forward, and then the waist swivel. And this is a bit pliable here at the top, like his pants seam, so it all works really, really well. The shoulders are on a ball joint basically into the torso. They come out to like a double hinge, which hides the joint extremely well. You get the arm all the way out to here and the swivel, and you can also get it a little bit across the chest if you go down below the pectoral muscle. No bicep swivel, but you get it at the elbow, and as a result, you save a little bit of the sculpt. And ultimately, I think that works fine, especially for a bulky figure. If those of you are new to my channel, I give a lot more leniency to bulky figures in terms of articulation because I don't feel like they need to be very, you know, what is it, limber? I don't feel like they need to be all, you know, getting their circus act on. I feel like they just need, you know, kind of sharp and intimidating movements. So it's a single hinged elbow. They get you 90 degrees, and I think that works fine. And then the hands do pop off, obviously, and it's just on a single peg there, and then it's a ball peg inside. So the peg gets you the swivel, and then the ball peg gets you the movement around the forearm. So that all works relatively well. It'll work even better if my camera focuses. There she is. So obviously same for the other side, and then these are the hands, and the fingernails are all sculpted and stuff. Looks great. No issues there. Look at that. I love it. I love it. So we'll talk about this leg. We're going to remove it just to show you articulation. So it's a ball peg, and it kind of comes down at a Y angle, and you use this piece to articulate it. Now, What happens is this is the leg / pants piece, and then this is the bottom of the leg. This slides into there, creating a peg system that then slides into here. As a result, you got to make sure that's really on there, but you get the thigh swivel, you get the outward movement out to there. Once again, for a big figure, I'm okay with that. Front and back, you can get out to there. So I don't have any issues with that either. You do have to pull it down a little bit, and then as a result, it does loosen that connection. That can become irritating and frustrating, but it's not a deal breaker. You just have to pay attention to how you're posing it. I'm giving it a pass. So where that joint is, you can bend the knee, and look, it doesn't really break up the sculpt at all. And I love that. I truly do. I think that that's great. The SH Figuarts one, that was one of my issues with it, is that the pants came down below the knee. As a result, you had all sorts of joint breakup and stuff, and it just didn't look as clean. And you know I'm a Figuarts fan. I just couldn't do it. So we have the same sort of shading in the calf, and then we come down to an ankle disc hinge, which gets you ankle tilt all the way up to there, all the way back to there, and then where it plugs into the foot, you get a tremendous rocker out of it. And the slightest swivel as well. So what more do you want? And then a toe hinge that I think, for a big bulky figure, looks pretty good. So tremendously articulated. You just have to be careful about this connection. It can get a little irritating, but I think it's ultimately worth the cost of doing business. And there's a look at the back of the figure, clean as a whistle. Final thoughts wise, I love it. A couple issues I have, that leg kind of coming off, you know, it's one of those things, it's hard to say. Like, is the way that is designed preventing it from causing damage to the figure while trying to get it in more dynamic poses? If that's the case, then I guess it's the cost of doing business, and I'm willing to bite the bullet on that one, so to speak. But it does become frustrating while you're trying to pose it when that leg comes out of the seam, because it's just friction holding it in. And the only other issue that I have with it is that it's very heavy, and as a result, sometimes doing dynamic poses is difficult to pull off. This took me like 5 minutes to get this pose, you know, with the stand and everything, kind of keeping balance on the figure. But I ultimately think it's worth it. The figure is beautiful. It's extremely well articulated for its size and bulk. It has a strong presence. The sculpt is absolutely wonderful, and I think it scales well. I also had Adam over recently from Nerd Rage, and he was like, man, they really nailed the color, and I have to agree. Like, it definitely rings true of that movie-verse Hulk. So at the end of the day, do I recommend it? Definitely. It is pricey, but I think it is the best available option for a Hulk for your 1/12 scale movie kind of Avengers shelf. So yes, definitely. Just, you know, put some money away for a rainy day. And when that rainy day comes, get yourself some giant green rage monster. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care. Good morning, friends. So this review is actually supposed to be up a long time ago. That's my dog. And as a result, it is not, because I asked for it for Christmas. My wife ordered it from Amazon, of all places. It came in the mail. She wrapped it, put it under the tree like a good wife does. Christmas morning, I opened it up. I couldn't really see inside of the window. So I said, cool, Figma Hulk, just as I asked for on my list, and I put it to the side. Around noon, I got to opening it. It had 2 plastic sheets over the figure. Now, as some of you may know, 1 plastic sheet, not uncommon. 2 plastic sheets, fairly uncommon. It's difficult to see the figure. And if you've made a beautiful figure, why wouldn't you want the person who is going to buy it to have the opportunity to see it? So immediately, my spider sense is being set off. I got it out of the box, and I got to messing with it, and I noticed some strange things. I noticed an abdominal joint, like a diaphragm joint, that I didn't see in the Figma, or didn't remember seeing in the Figma. And then I also noticed that the pants were sculpted over the knee and onto the calf, except they were painted green. Now that seemed bizarre to me. That seemed like a Hasbro move, not something our good friends over at Bondi would do, or over at Good Friend, which is Good Smile, Good Friend, whoever makes Figma. So I was looking through it, and I was like, something's not right, and the shoulders moved funky, and the hands moved funky. I was like, my face is giving me away. I wear my emotions, my heart, so to speak, on my sleeve. I'm very hard at hiding how I feel. So my wife was like, what's wrong? And I was like, oh, it's a Christmas gift. You're trying to be grateful. I said, oh, nothing, nothing. It's fine. It's just some strange choices. Got a little bit more into the figure, and I was like, something is definitely wrong. So I did a little bit of internet research and realized she had gotten me an SH Figuarts knockoff. Now it was, to be fair, a Figma knockoff, but what these knockoff companies did under this circumstance was they knocked off the SH Figuarts Hulk, they packaged that in a knockoff SH Figuarts box and sold it as SH Figuarts Hulk. What they also did was they knocked off the SH Figuarts Hulk, kept the knees and calves all green, packaged it in a knockoff Figma box, and sold that as a Figma Hulk. I can't stand a knockoff. That's my personal opinion. I was disgusted. I packaged it back up, contacted Amazon and let them know you're selling a counterfeit product, which probably happened because someone bought one and then returned it, and you know how that sort of shim-sham kind of goes. And they didn't seem to pay a whole lot of attention to what we were saying. So I looked at their listing for a Figma Hulk, and they had 0 in stock. And I returned it, and now they're showing 1 in stock. Not sure if it's there, but if you want a Figma and you're thinking about buying it off Amazon and there's 1 in stock, I'd recommend that you didn't.